Hi, my name is Danielle, and this is
Noel.
And welcome to Random Conversations.
That's episode 2.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm ready to get going. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, so what do you want to start off? I think I know where you want to start off at.
Where do you think I want to start off at?
The New York Knicks say, go New York, go New York, go.
Yo, they surprised me. That
they did. They surprised me as well.
Held him under 100 points. Halliburton had one of his Halliburton games where he'll drop 30 and zero turnovers one game and then give you a single digit game the next, which is why I'm not
very sporadic.
Yeah, I'm not keen to label him a superstar just yet. But the Knicks, they played their best game. I don't know if they could replicate that, carry it on the road and do it in Indy. But I think if Karl Anthony Towns plays like the best player on the floor, like he did the other night, I think that they could force a Game 7.
Yeah, and Tyrese Halliburton is slowly becoming enemy number one. He's the major op in the city right now. I think he surpassed Trae Young at the end of the Knicks game. Even though I didn't watch it because they give me too much anxiety, I can't watch them. But I did see at the end where he was walking off the court and he was smiling. You know how like SGA smiled when they, I think it was the Nuggets beat them. He started smiling like, oh, here we go. Now people are like, oh, Game 6, they're going to lose and blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, geez, Louise.
Well, I think the whole city of New York is holding their breath right now until Sunday morning when the results are in and the Knicks either are forcing Game 7 or they're going home in 6. I think the main reason why the Knicks won that game was their bench.
He finally played the bench.
Exactly.
Which people have been telling him to do for years. He's running his starters down into the ground. They're tired. They can't keep up 42 minutes every night. Play your bench. Have faith in your bench. And now he's starting to listen, and he's starting to see the results of it.
I think Tibbs' job rides on this series.
That's what I told you last week.
Yeah, I think a lot is going to be said about how he managed the roster if they lose. Because long story short, the Knicks are the 3 seed, Indy's the 4 seed. They're supposed to win. On paper, they're the better team. But
I think Indy was the 6th seed.
No, the 4 seed.
No, the Bucks were the 4th seed.
Nope. Could you fact check that, please?
Uh-oh. But yeah, I understand what you're saying with this writing on Tibbs' job, like this whole series. I do believe even if they lose, he'll still be around for one more year at least, because he did make it farther than any Knicks team has made it in the last 25 years. So either way, he's still going to be there, but if he underperforms next season, it's going to be a wrap. See,
and it's the 4th seed, right? Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, they showed the seeding on the scoreboard. I
could have sworn they were the 6th seed. No. I thought the Bucks were the 4th.
No.
So they were the 5th. I was close though.
Close, but no cigar. All right.
How do you feel about these Knicks fans though? I see the reaction from the game that they won the other night, and there was this video that there was this cop going back and forth with a fan. Let me tell you, if the Knicks win and go to the finals, even if they win the finals, I know that's a lot. That's far-fetched.
That ain't happening.
But if they win the finals, this is going to be the NYPD's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse than everything they could have thought of.
Because our grandparents are the only ones old enough to have ever experienced the Knicks win.
Yeah. The city's going to go berserk. I'm here for it, though. But I feel bad for the cops, because if they're climbing up billboards now, imagine when they win, if they win everything.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Knicks fans. Y'all overreact on every win. You guys need to calm down, relax, all right?
I'm relaxed.
Game 6. And
that's why I don't watch
finals.
Them. They give me anxiety.
It's not the NBA finals. You got to relax.
They give me anxiety, bad anxiety. I cannot watch them.
But like I said before, the 2 teams are very similar. They play very similar. The only thing is that Indy likes to get out and run. If the Knicks could slow down the pace, they have a great chance of winning. Slow it down, make it more of a half-court game, they definitely can win this series. But they get caught up too much in running with them. You see it all the time. As soon as like one of the paces of Nembhard hits a 3, all of a sudden they just inbound the ball and they're just running back the other way. I'm like, slow it down. You know, if they slow it down, they can win, because the Pacers' half-court offense is terrible.
Well, to stick into the theme of sports, I don't know if everybody saw this video with Stephon Diggs on a boat with a bunch of girls around him, and I don't know if it was in his hands or somebody had
definitely in his hands.
It was in his hands.
He gave it to one of the girls.
Yeah,
it was like a pink substance.
Yeah, pink substance, which people call it pink cocaine, but there's a lot of blowback.
Well, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, this is all alleged.
Everybody's looking at the video and assuming that it's some sort of drug.
Yeah.
And the drug that they're throwing around is this pink cocaine. But it's not a good look, especially with everything going on right now. It's never been a good look, but
I don't think anything's going to happen to him. I saw the coach made a press conference about it. I'm like, well, I don't know if it was about him specifically. I highly doubt it.
He mentioned it. He said that he saw.
He wasn't asked?
He was asked. He said he saw the video.
Yeah.
But he didn't give too much on what they were going to do with Diggs. They tried to move on to practice and how things were going at voluntary OTAs.
But you said this is not a good look for him.
It's not a good look for him. And for the coach to have to answer questions about you this early
in the season.
The season didn't even start yet, and they're already answering questions about you. You're already a distraction. I don't think that's a good look at all.
Well, this is going to blow over like everything else. People are going to forget it in like a week or so. Yeah. So I don't even think this is a big deal.
I mean, it will blow over unless one of those girls... See, this is the thing. Everybody wants to say that it's not a big deal. I'm looking at the comments and they're saying, he's living his life. Are we trying to penalize him for just enjoying his life to the fullest? And my response to that is you can enjoy your life to the fullest, but you don't have to publicize it to everyone. Once you put it on video and it's out there for everyone to digest, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and you can't be mad at that.
You can't control what other people put out.
Sure you can. These celebrities, they have parties, and what they do, they confiscate people's cell phones. You can't use your phone during the party. You get it back at the end of the party. This is standard procedure. And he's been a star for a long time. He's not new to this league. So he should know how to operate in those type of circles.
I think with him being around Cardi kind of like elevates his stardom because now he's with like somebody who you consider like an A-list celebrity. So maybe he's not used to all of this going, like he's not used to people just videotaping him and sending it out. He probably never had to go to a lot of parties. I'm pretty sure he has to go to some parties where they do confiscate your phone. But I don't think he's been to a lot of parties that, I got to be mindful of what I'm doing. Now he has to be mindful because now there's certain people watching you and there's more people watching you based off who you're with.
There's more people watching you, but as a professional athlete, women are always after you. That's nothing new. That video was probably just another Wednesday for him. So for him to know how to operate in that type of atmosphere is pretty telling.
I guess. I don't think he did anything too crazy. People do what they want to do on their spare time. I get what you're saying. He's a top athlete, but it's not good. He's probably going to learn from this mistake.
Yeah, hopefully he learns from this mistake. And luckily for him, it's not something that was more serious. Because what if you gave that drug to the girl or that substance to the girl and she had some sort of adverse reaction, right? And now she's in the hospital. Who gave it to you? It's on video that he gave it to you, right? Now we're talking about a whole other thing. This is why people.
But she could have said no.
Right, she could have said no, but she want a party. And then we live in a day and age.
Well, if you have certain reactions, and
how you know she might have never had it before.
She probably did. Let me stop. Let me stop.
She know this girl personally.
I do. Let me stop. I don't know. I guess I get where you're coming from, but I don't think it's going to be a big blow to his career.
I don't think it's a big blow to his career.
There's a lot of athletes that have done way worse.
But he got to be smarter than that. And when I look at things like that, like I said, I'm a father. I got 2 sons, 1 daughter. If my son is a star athlete, I'm talking to him and I'm telling him you can't get caught up in stuff like that. The optics is just bad, no matter any way you look at it, right? You had too many prominent black figures go down for drug-related issues like this. Low-hanging fruit, Bill Cosby and Diddy right now, right? So, and this is in the zeitgeist. This is fresh and new. And for him to do something like that, it just shows a lack of thought.
I say I don't think he wanted it to be. I don't think he wanted to be digested. I didn't think he wanted to be out. I get what you're saying about there should have been NDA, but it's not like he just did it. Oh, let me just show people I'm doing pink cocaine. I don't think it was his. I don't think he wanted to do that, but people put it out there, and that's what happened.
And we don't know that it was pink cocaine.
Yeah, this is all
people
alleged.
are speculating that it was pink cocaine, but for all we know, it could have just been freaking crushed up nerds or something. We don't know.
So you had mentioned to me the other day about the Tulsa massacre and how it's the 100th year anniversary. 104th year anniversary. So how do you feel about that? Where do you think do you think we've progressed? I know we've progressed, but how far along you think we've come since them tearing down Black Wall Street?
I mean, well, you gotta look at it from the start of it. So basically, on May 31st, 1921, that's when the Tulsa race massacre occurred. A young black man was wrongfully accused of assaulting a white woman. And so some white individuals stormed the Tulsa county court with the intentions of lynching this black man. And residents of Greenwood, the black residents of Greenwood, showed up to try to prevent that from happening. A scuffle ensued, and ultimately an 18-hour race massacre took place, right? Estimated 300 people were killed, 1,000 people were injured, and 10,000 people were homeless as a result of the massacre, right? To this day, there has been no reparations. You still have survivors fighting for reparations, and it's ridiculous to me that Japanese citizens during World War II could get reparations for being put in internment camps, but the people of Black Wall Street have yet to see a dime from this massacre. They flew planes over these people's homes and dropped dynamite and bombs over it. I mean, they completely destroyed the neighborhood. So we have come a long way.
Do you think we're ever going to get those? Well, they're ever going to get those reparations? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't know.
I mean, we as a people, we've come a long way, where there's a lot of affluential black people that you see, a lot of examples of black wealth out there.
But we're sitting in a black-owned business right now.
Yeah, we are.
So that speaks to
that's a testament,
progress, right? But we still have a long way to go. Case in point, these people haven't been made whole. Their families haven't. There hasn't been any extension of an olive branch to help these people, to let these people know that the government acknowledged that a wrongdoing was done and that they're doing their best to try to make it right. Even though, a life is gone and you can never do anything to bring that back, there's still gestures that the government can do to let the people know that they acknowledge what happened and that they care about the victims and their families. And I just wanted to make sure that we didn't gloss over it, because I believe it's a very touchy, sensitive subject, but it's important. And yeah, no, I really wanted to get that out there. Yeah. I mean, I just found out about the 104th anniversary today. So I was like, oh, if you want to share more words about it, you definitely can. It's a platform for you to share your thoughts and to share your concerns with people who are tuning in. And you had also mentioned to me that you finished Forever. Oh, yeah. That is a show that I recommend everybody to watch. The dynamics between Justin and Keisha, they're the main two characters. I think some character in that show resonates with somebody. Whether it be yourself, whether it be your family member, it resonates with you. And I believe that's a show that everybody should be watching. So, and it's on Netflix. Shout out to Netflix for having the budget to create such a phenomenal show. So what did you like about it? Was there any pros and cons? There's not that many cons that jump out to me. It was a well-made show, beautiful cast.
Yep.
I love the father. I recognized him from The Wire. His name escapes me now, but he did an excellent job. And I resonated with that character because, again, I'm a father, so I just saw the way he handles certain situations with his son.
I think his name is Wood Johnson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Because you looked at it. But yeah, so yeah, the father he handled things the way Wood Harris.
I was close.
So the father in Forever, his name is Wood Harris, and you also recognize him from his work in The Wire. He did a phenomenal job as the father. I felt the way he handled his character handled situations with his son Justin was the way that I would hope to handle situations. The mother was more of like a helicopter parent, so he had to kind of be a little bit looser with him to kind of even it out. You don't want to have two wardens in the house, I guess, right? So whenever the mother was coming down too hard, the father would always come and try to smooth things out.
Well, you got to look at it from a mom's perspective. You just want the best for your child. And with him having ADHD, she's also just pushing him to be the best that she knows he can be. Having a disability, a lot of people will like stigmatize you and put you in a box. So for him, she just wanted to make sure that he's being shown in a different light. He can succeed in academics. He can succeed in basketball. So I think she was just trying to drill that into him and for him not to lose focus, because with ADHD, you lose focus. So there is a perfect balance between the parents. You got the strict mom, but also the caring mom that just wants nothing but the best for you. And you got the dad that, when the mom is becoming a little bit too hard, because as a mom, you can get a little bit too hard, especially when you just want everything for your child. I believe that the father was the perfect balance for him, and a place of solace that he could just talk to, and the dad will come in and talk to him, especially about sex, because he knows he's about to start having it.
Yeah.
When Keisha came into
I love that scene when he's like, put the condom on the banana.
How do you know? It was the cucumber.
The cucumber. And he put it on. He's like, see, I know. He said he closed the blinds and he turned the lights off.
He's like, do it in the dark.
And he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
He was like, I felt, is that gonna happen? He was like, she just coming over. He was like, I know how young people get when y'all like each other and things just happen. So he's like, show me.
And from Keisha's standpoint, I think she just needed somebody to talk to when she was going through what she was going through with that sex tape that her ex had put out at the time. If she had somebody like a therapist that could navigate that part in time in her life, I think she'd be a little bit better off, because in the beginning she was kind of like, everything just turned her off with Justin. They kept blocking each other and blocking each other. If she just had that person to talk to, because obviously it wouldn't have been her mom, and I don't think the mom would have been a perfect person to talk to at that time, I think she would have been a little bit better off in her relationship in the beginning with Justin.
Yeah. But Justin, they found each other at the right time, because they both helped each other significantly. Justin helped her get over that trauma of the sex tape, and she helped Justin find his focus and find his passion. And the thing that I loved about the show was that it didn't end in the stereotypical fairy tale sort of way. Well, the show is not complete yet, though. So season 1 is complete. Season 2 is on the way. But season 1 ends. They're not together. He makes the decision to break up with Keisha because he feels that, he's using her as a crutch. And in order for him to grow, he has to kind of, separate himself from her and see how he can manage the world without her.
Keisha was his everything. Keisha couldn't breathe without telling Justin what she's doing.
You mean Justin couldn't breathe without telling Keisha what he's doing?
No. Justin couldn't breathe.
Yes, I said without telling Keisha what he's doing.
No, Keisha. Because remember, he was always like, "What are you doing?" It's like suffocating.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
Justin couldn't.
No,
breathe.
she couldn't breathe. It's like suffocating when somebody keeps texting you, like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, he could. He was very clingy.
Yeah, very clingy.
And the show made it seem like it was very much one-sided at times, especially in the beginning. But when he broke up with her, and then he was looking at the other girl, and the other girl was like, just because you block somebody doesn't mean that they can't leave a message. Now, she said if she left a message,
then they're not going to do anything.
I won't do anything, because she wanted Justin to be her first.
Yeah.
But Justin was still hung up on Keisha. So she said, if Keisha didn't send you a voicemail, then we have sex. She's like, but if she did, then I'll give you the space to kind of handle whatever situation you got going on with Keisha. And then you notice that she left a voicemail like every single day, and she was just telling him everything about her day. She was also taking on a lot of his likes, like with the anime and stuff like that.
Well, that is a part of just trying to get back into his good side.
No, but then but you could.
But it didn't continue after they got back together.
Well, they did. Well, the show doesn't have the time to show you everything that she's doing, and then she doesn't need to go the extra mile to keep calling and leaving voicemails because
that's what I'm saying.
They're back together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So she could have still been watching the stuff and all that stuff, but the show is, they're like, okay, they're back together now. Let's move on to issues that arise now that they're together. Right, and the main issue was his that clinginess. He was super clingy.
Yeah,
right. And I loved how they showed the dichotomy between them in terms of how one was singularly focused on getting to Howard, and she had a dream and a goal, and she wasn't gonna let anything or anyone, not even Justin, get in the way of that. And Justin was kind of wayward, still trying to figure it out. He wanted to play D1, but
that didn't work. So music was the fallback.
Ball in D1, right? But that really wasn't his passion, and you noticed it because he was making the beats on his own time, and you could see.
I think that was part of his passion.
No, because when he played ball, because remember his mother kept telling him, "I didn't see you practicing. I don't see you doing that." It was either Keisha, and the only time he practiced was when they had practice. You never really seen him putting in the work outside of a structured practice with his team. But when you look at Keisha and how passionate...
He did want to be a starter, though.
But remember, when Keisha asked him, why do you want to play ball? And he was talking about his father and how he enjoyed playing ball against him. And when he beat his dad, it was a high that he never experienced before or after. So he was kind of chasing that high. But then she also noticed that you look like you have that zest for music. When I watch you make the beats, when I watch you listening to your beats, you look like you're just completely absorbed and wrapped up in it. And basketball, even in practice, he wasn't. He would hit a shot and then he would just like blank out, and then someone would go down. His man would go down the other end and hit an open layup. That part. Right.
But what do you think is going to happen in season 2?
I think season 2, you're going to see a lot more of them living their separate lives.
I feel like Keisha is going to get a boyfriend and Justin's going to get a girlfriend, and somehow, some way, they're going to find out, and it's going to be problems.
No, I think her sex tape is going to come out.
No, I don't think so. I think that's buried in season 1.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to come back.
If she becomes a star as well,
it's going to come back to bite her.
She's going to become more known. People might Google her more, and that's when things are going to come out, because that's how you can find, especially because
if she overcame it and went to Howard, she'll overcome it again. Kim Kardashian has a sex tape. Look where she is now.
Yeah, but I think that was calculated. I think.
But look, moral of the story is, don't let a sex tape stop you from aspiring to get your dreams.
Moral of the story?
It's not gonna deter you from doing anything.
Moral of the story, don't make a sex tape to begin with.
That too. But if you do, just know that it's not gonna stop you from getting to the top and becoming a billionaire. Okay?
Yeah, all things are possible.
All right. So I think that's it for today. So my name is Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And that was Random Conversations.